So now let's come to your writing and directing career.
Okay.
Right. I feel which is what you wanted to speak about. I feel like
Right.
I wanted to take a little detour from movies.
Sure.
And then come back to it organically. I don't know how organic it is.
No, it's perfectly organic.
Yeah. So tell us about your writing process, because you said that you were writing from school, college.
Yeah.
Right. So is there a method? Is there a process now?
Yeah, I think it's the process is a story that stays in you, stays with you. There are stories that come to you, and then you think. Sometimes you don't think about them too deeply, so perhaps it's not important. But there are some stories that stay with you, the characters and the need and the desire to just tell that story in your unique eye or unique perspective, your take on the whole thing. So that first has to be the major motivation. Can I tell something that's engaging and important and entertaining? Then it happens in spurts where I don't try and kind of push myself to finish a scene, but sometimes just have that distance for a few hours or even a day to see whether organically you can build something that's interesting. So it's the loneliest part of this profession is when you're sitting and writing something, but it's also the most vivid and almost dreamlike, godlike kind of situation, because you're literally building a world. You're getting characters to say something. And if they start holding meaning, this project is important, something that you should do. So, these are the basics of how I motivate myself to kind of direct or tell a story.
So you delve into it, and it's like a test that if they stay with you...
If it stays with me, it's important enough. I have stories that now have been in my head for like a decade almost. Because that's for me is what holds the promise of a good story eventually. So bank on that. So yeah, I am also a multi-genre sort of a guy. I'm eventually a fanboy of cinema. So I like moving from one genre, one story, find something else. And I know the stuff that I do is, it's somewhere in some spaces. It's you can call it commercial or not commercial, or it's trying to bridge some gaps. I don't know. But it's always come from a very original space. That's how meaningful it is for me as a director. To say something that's highly original. It might be a genre you have seen or even a situation but what's your take on that kind of a thing has to... So yeah, for example, I don't want to plug, this is very self-aware kind of plugging, but I will. With Avakai Biryani, the idea was to kind of tell a cultural story between two religions, but in the most non-hateful, non-confrontational, non-hyper, but in a very sort of everyday life kind of a mode. Don't romanticize that, because you can have those kind of conclusions also, but make it entertaining. So I'm a libertarian, I think, at heart, and I also think that, the democratic values of our country have to be protected, and every citizen has that absolute sort of needs to have that integrity towards what they're doing with their profession. So my God, where am I digressing? Where am I going with this?
Yeah, no, you're saying from Avakai Biryani, which was like a very
Koti was my this thing about just
Koti was like a gangster.
It was me.
I had actually very high hopes on Koti.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
No, it is very interesting.
No, true. Yeah, absolutely. It was. I wanted to make, when we get on train stations, you see these detective novels on these
A.H. Wheeler and Co.
Really pulpy, out of the way. Yeah.
No.
So that's where I'm coming from, in terms of trying to tell a very good old-fashioned heist film with all kinds of interesting sort of drama. We played with screenplay a little bit. We were trying to go out there with the humor. Very proud of what we achieved in terms of the look and sound and some great music from...
Oh, music.
Shakti.
So the point I wanted to tell you when I was saying...
And Srihari sir, my favorite avatar, he was just magnificent as Maya Master in that film. Yeah, sorry.
No, the point I wanted to tell you, how I connected with you was in my Music Express phone, I had one folder of Koti of the songs because I remember those songs.
Shout out to you, Macha Shakti.
Yeah. Shout out to Shakti. Who also gave one other movie for Shekhar Kamla.
Yeah, Fida.
Fida. Oh yeah. But this was before, way back.
Yeah.
I remember Varala
Super cool,
Vana.
super talented man.
Yeah.
His track for Gods of Dharmapuri to the opening title, the opening song was just like a beautiful rendition. Okay, enough about me saying stuff.
No, it's all about you,
Yeah,
man.
but shoot any question. I don't know what. I want to stop myself from saying something. But yeah, this is my approach. I mean, Gods of Dharmapuri was another sort of giant wheel of multiple storylines over multiple episodes that all had to kind of make sense. We had a amazing cast, a great writing team, a great producer, and great bunch of actors and technicians who came on board. Srikanth, production design, Naveen, cinematography, Shakti, of course, with the music, and our producer, Radhika Lau. I always wanted to tell a gangster film on every filmmaker wants to do their own gangster film kind of a thing. So this was my attempt at something like that. And we had a great time with the construction of that story, trying to tell it like this massive sort of over a period of like with limited time and budgets to try and get a 70s, 60s kind of a vibe to it.
I remember it was one of
great
the
actors. Oh my God, when you have a great bunch of actors, Satya, Shruti, all these amazing people.
LB Sriram garu.
LB Sriram garu was such a joy to kind of work with. Your job as a director really is to just tell them what it is we're looking to discover. They just bring it to life.
It was the first
It was the first web series that actually got some name. Like when the OTTs came out, it was on Z5 kada?
Yeah.
Z5. Like the very first on Z5.
You should watch it if you haven't.
Was that?
So yeah, same, with the indie film that we are doing right now, which is getting ready. It's been, as a director, it's been an absolute, the trip for me is to tell something original and something that must add some value. And it should be entertaining too. It should have a manner. So we're still cracking the code on that, but I'm excited to... There's nothing like a filmmaker's life really, which can be any story or any project that you want to kind of build or create. I mean, it's... I'm excited for where the industry is headed, where, how stories can be told. It's being redefined. Every year now almost, like you see some... something amazing in front of you. So, yeah. I don't know.